Good evening. My name is Tom Mehalick. As crew foreman of a team of steam fitters, Local 638, I was part of a team that built the World Trade Center Tower 1 in New York City. My father, Stephen Mehalick, was a Local 638 steam fitter before me. Thank you. And he was involved in the construction of what was to be at the time the tallest buildings in the world, the Twin Towers at World Trade Center. As you might imagine, my father's job as a crew foreman on the original towers was a great source of pride for him and for my whole family. As my brothers and I followed my father into his profession, and we became 638 steam fitters ourselves, we also felt a connection to the towers. It was like part of our own family history, but as the entire world now knows, there was a great deal more to come. After the first bombing of the World Trade Center in the 90s, I was involved in the reconstruction of the lower floors of the North Tower. In May of 2001, 4 months before the attacks that brought his beloved towers down, my father passed away. On September 11th, 2001, I watched from a rooftop as a plane hit the South Tower and a fireball erupted from its exterior. Shortly after, I watched the North Tower go down. There are no adequate words to describe the feelings of horror and anger that I felt that day, except to say it was beyond being an American or a New York City union construction worker. It was personal. I decided right there and then that I would somehow be involved in making things right. Because of our ability to burn steel, some of us were needed to help at Ground Zero. I made sure I was one of them. As a first responder, I was involved in a recovery effort on the pile. And in 2004, I worked at 7 World Trade Center until its completion. All the while, I was waiting for my shot at the big one, World Trade Center Tower 1. In 2009, I got it. I had the privilege of doing the same job as my father, a crew foreman working on the tallest building in the United States from the ground up. Helping to rebuild World Trade Center 1 will forever be the highlight of my career and one of the greatest personal achievements. The privilege to be involved in such a project and to work with such extraordinary men and women, the best in their fields, is something I will never forget. Near the completion of the tower, I was asked to be part of a project called Voices, telling the stories of the men and women involved in Tower 1's construction. It was an unexpected and incredible honor, which I proudly accepted. My family and I recently had the opportunity to view the Voices exhibit at World Trade Center 1, and were amazed at what we experienced. I honestly did not know what to expect. Of course, I wanted the exhibit to do justice to the project that meant so much to me. I had worked on that tower. My office had been on the 101st floor. I saw that incredible view every day, literally walked in the clouds before the walls were up. I wondered what on earth could live up to that or capture the pride that my men felt about this great achievement. As it turns out, I was blown away. As I stood watching the beautifully edited multimedia display featuring my coworkers at World Trade Center 1, men and women sharing their personal experiences and feelings about the project, I was greatly moved. You have to understand, their stories, our stories, are seldom told. My family was able to watch with pride as my own interview was featured, and I was able to see myself paying tribute to my father and see the last structural beam I was able to sign for him before it was set into place. Of course, the elevator ride, which you probably have heard about, was incredible. On the ride up, the walls of the elevator transformed into a historical account of Lower Manhattan, rising upward through time and space until we reached the observatory. When we reached the top, the row of walls displayed a kaleidoscope of New York City life that suddenly lifted to expose One World Trade's amazing view. Although I've seen this view countless times during my 6 years working there, to have it revealed in such a way and to be able to share it with my family was truly special and something I hope I can share with my grandchildren in the not too distant future. Here's a quick look at One World Observatory. In conclusion, I would just like to express that my time on World Trade Center 1, my involvement in the Voices Project, and the opportunity to be here sharing in its triumph with you tonight, I will never forget, and I will count it among the great events of my life. It is my honor to present the Thea Award for Outstanding Achievement to One World Observatory.
Accepting the award for One World Observatory is Legends Attractions Vice President and General Manager of One World Observatory, John Urban, and the Hettema Group founder, Phil Hettema.
Wow. Thank you, Tom. Unbelievable. Another round of applause for Tom. That was, wow. We are there every day, and I just got goosebumps again, so thank you. First of all, congratulations to all the other recipients. The last couple of days have been amazing for myself and all of us at Legends, just an incredible array of creativity and inspiration. I'm accepting tonight on behalf of everybody at Legends, our ownership, which is a partnership of the New York Yankees and Dallas Cowboys, our management team, and our entire staff back in New York at One World that have welcomed and inspired 2 million people already to the top of One World Trade Center. So I want to especially acknowledge some of my Legends colleagues that are here tonight, Fran Coiro, Bob Zorn, Mike Toman, and our president, Shervin Mirashemi. And a former colleague, Dave Kirshner, who was our project executive and really the conscience behind the entire One World endeavor. So I'd love to give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys. As I hope you felt from the words that Tommy shared, this project was quite a privilege to be a part of. I think all of us will consider it a career highlight wherever we go and whatever we do for the rest of our careers. I know you honored the 9/11 Museum, our neighbors on the One World Trade Center campus. They tell the story of the events of 9/11 more powerfully, more carefully than anybody ever could. We sort of call that the punch in the gut. Well, the story about One World is the fist pump. It's the celebration. The tower is back on the skyline, and our brand is based around 2 words, see forever. It's the look ahead. It's the amazing view, but it's also the optimism and the power that comes from being at the top of One World Trade. So in closing, I just want to say, for everybody that worked on the project, I need to pay just the biggest possible respect to Phil and his team. One World doesn't exist without Phil Hettema and all of our friends and colleagues at the Hettema Group. Walking around with Phil these past couple days, this is our first time at TEA. This is our first foray, our company's first foray into the attractions business, and certainly it will not be our last. But that makes it an extra special honor to be up here and be recognized in that way. So we're also very, very thankful for the warm welcome we've gotten from all of you, so I appreciate that very, very much. What Phil and all of our friends and colleagues at the Hettema Group did is nothing short of redefining the entire observatory experience. The dream team that he put together creatively, and he'll have a chance to thank them all, is second to none. And I think more than anything, as we see every day and we welcome the world to the top of One World Trade Center, I think they've redefined it. And they've also kind of reminded us that every language in the world has a word for goosebumps. So thank you very, very much, and we appreciate this honor like you can't believe. It's wonderful. Thank you.
I think you can tell from Tom's story that this was no regular job. I want to thank Legends, who was the best client we could have ever had, and especially Dave Kirshner, the rest of the team, but Dave particularly, who brought us into the project and was nothing but supportive of our vision and made it Legends' job as a client to just support us in doing whatever we needed to do to get it done. I need to thank Montre Anderson DeMarco and JRM Construction for our New York partners for their exquisite participation, JRM's amazing build of this project. This room is full of the A-team of people in our business who did this project with us. The Hettema Group certainly didn't do it by themselves, I hope you'll look at the program because there's just too many. I can't mention them here, and the night's late. I love what we do. We all love what we do. I get to build amazing elevators with all of you. But the most amazing thing is we get to do projects that reach into people's hearts and touch their spirit and their soul. And that's not just an honor, it's a responsibility. We're so grateful, everyone at the Hettema Group, and me particularly, for the chance to be able to do this kind of work. I love what we do. Thank you so much.